Well, I see the fans up here, and I see a real opportunity to build a team up here.
Jim Barnett again for Warriors.com. Again, catching up with Jerry West. We'll talk about his collegiate days at West Virginia University. I want to go back to your college days. So you went on the road to a university and you had over 60 offers to go anywhere. Obviously you knew that there were opportunities. You went to West Virginia University.
Well,
and you wanted to stay local. Why is that?
Well, number one, I say I'm really loyal. Okay, if you're my friend and you know, we do things the way friends do or associations, you're probably never going to lose me as a friend, even though I'm not a person to call people that I know every day like some people do, which I should do, and it's a fault. I love West Virginia, okay? And I'll never forget when I was a kid sitting at home listening to West Virginia University play games over the radio, and it was fade in and fade out. When you're in the mountains, and obviously the technology today is a lot different for broadcast and also for telecast and all the stuff you can get today. I used to listen to the games not even knowing the outcome of the game, so I'd have to wait the next morning to find the outcome. So it was kind of it was cold winter days and stuff like that, and my brother-in-law took me up to a West Virginia University game. I went up there and I sat in the bleachers in the end zone, and there were a lot of people there, but it wasn't sold out. And when I went there, that night we stayed in this mangy little place up there in Morgantown. I'll never forget that night. I couldn't sleep. And I'm not a great sleeper at all, but I couldn't sleep, and all I could think about was, my gosh, that really looks pretty exciting. I wonder what that would be like. And this was when I was maybe 7 or 8, 9 years old, and really before I got a huge interest in basketball. And I'll never forget that one trip. And then, you know, when things start to happen to you, and everyone's trying to recruit you, and obviously there are a lot of inducements at that point in time to try to get somebody to go to school, but that's not something that was going to happen to me. I was going to go to West Virginia University, and it's the smartest thing I've ever done in my life. It had so backward and awkward and socially inept when I was going to school, because I was so quiet and shy, as a lot of kids are, particularly during that era. And I get there and I formed some wonderful relationships, and I lived with 2 Italian old maids, okay, and Erlinda Donardi. And these women, the first time in my life I really felt loved, okay? I mean, they loved me. And here I am, this shy, backward, awkward kid, and some of the things they said to me, I mean, it was, you know, they can be, Italians are, you know,
yes,
excitable. And, but these were 2 incredible ladies that had a great influence on my life at a very early age. And it was like a whole new world for me. You know, I thought 500 people was a big town. To go to Morgantown, oh my gosh, it's, you know, 30,000 people at that point in time. I thought it was in New York City, okay? And it was a real growing experience for me, because after I was there, the strange thing about, I was homesick. I was really homesick. But again, I forged a relationship with probably my best friend, someone I trust with anything in my life. His name is Willie Akers, and we were like twins. We went everywhere together and did everything. And he was much more, you know, bubbly and happy, and here I was walking around and somebody say something to you, got my head down. And he was really another very important fixture in my life, and particularly as a friend.
You had a teammate with the Lakers in Hot Rod Hunley, who was actually a senior at West Virginia when you were a freshman. In those days, freshmen had to play on the freshman team. And you're very different personalities. And
I'll say.
Yeah, I'm curious about your comments about Hot Rod Hunley, and he was flamboyant. He always seemed to me that he would have been better playing, if it could have been possible, playing with the Harlem Globetrotters rather than in the NBA. He was that kind of personality on the floor.
You know, he was a very talented player, but you know, when you're playing and competing, the idea is not to embarrass somebody, okay? And I always felt that because I was so much more serious about it, And he loved the game. There's no question he loved the game, but he didn't have inside of him what I had. And I'll never forget, we had a uniform thing up there, and they wanted me, his number was 33.
Right.
And
you wore that the first year.
no, well, I didn't. They put it on me. I didn't want to wear it, okay? Because I just didn't, that's not who I wanted to be. I didn't want to be him. I want to be something completely different. He was loved throughout the state and still is. But yet, I was a lot more serious about him, and I would never do anything to embarrass or be disrespectful to the game, because to me, sports, it's about competing, but you know, you win with class and you lose with class. And he was just such a different personality, and there's things he did, I used to say to myself, how in the world can he do these things? And it was just the difference in the two of us. He was
Shooting a hook shot from the free throw line.
Oh, he would do anything. I mean, he would absolutely do anything. And but I think he understands, he and our friends, I think he understands that I was completely different than him. He was, you know, he's the life of the party.
Yep.
The person you couldn't help but like.